Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss Pre-Market Report for Thursday, June 21st, 2018. I'm Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. Right now, we see that price has initially rejected the previous session's high price. That's very important right now. So if you look right here, this is the current session's developing bar. Here's the 2-day highs. Price pushed above 2-day highs and currently rejecting and trading right at the previous session's mid. We mentioned before this was a pretty solid rejection day in the uptrending market, and bulls want to defend the 58 to 60 zone, and that's what happened yesterday. A nice little digestion day. Today that's still a zone to defend, so we could still see bulls defend prices at or just below the previous session's low, which could lead to some nice movement here overall to the upside. So if there's a failed new low below this midpoint here, that could slingshot prices higher. You got to be very careful about buying right now if you're a bull, because anytime you have a failed new high coming into an entry zone or a trigger zone, it could lead to kind of a messy entry. So failed new highs right now could lead to a failure, so we got to continue to watch that midpoint. Again, 57 to 58 up to as high as 60. That's a zone right there that bulls really want to keep bid for a shot at continuing this thing higher. This failed new high right now throwing a wrench in things, which could lead to some sort of a double dip if prices get below that 57 zone. Alright, taking a look right here at the NQ. What you'll notice with the NQ is it remains within a very bullish price trending structure here. Very nice uptrending structure overall. And recently we had a very narrow range right here heading into June, and that led to a nice breakout and continuation. That really hasn't subsided here. We've been in that uptrend ever since that breakout move above 7K. We talked about 7K leading to 72 quickly and getting as high as 7,300. That's come true. We've also gotten as high here as 73.58 half. So very nice uptrending move here, over 350 points from our breakout point of 7K. Now we're seeing a little bit of rejection here of prices above the recent highs here. So you have this recent high, a pullback, and now a little bit of a rejection and price now back below those highs. Kind of a failed higher high type of relationship. And when that type of scenario plays out, there is the potential to come wipe out the recent low and perhaps even come back, and we could be looking at some sort of expanding range of some sort. So it would not surprise me here if price cannot reestablish acceptance back above these highs here, which is basically 73.20, 73.21. Then we could be looking at a return trip back down. So again, another failed new high working its way in here. We'll have to continue to monitor that situation. Alright, let's take a look now at, let's look at the YM. Now, for the most part, the YM has been the most bearish of the various E-mini futures contracts. And for the most part, this one here failed to hold above the previous month's high. That opened the door to more weakness, especially once price was not able to hold above the 24,886. So far, this thing has just been dribbling lower. We do have this lower channel that still remains intact. Again, 24.6 was the key level there that we've been watching. We're right at it. We could still see some sort of rejection here that could swing us back up. But right now, it's very, very clear that the YM has not found its footing just yet, has not found that major rejection low, and continues to seek for that low. So we could actually see this thing take out the previous month's close and then see a bounce, but we got to continue to watch this. Eventually, getting back above 24,886 will open up more upside into that next upside target at 25,785. Looking at crude oil, you'll notice here with crude that, again, I've noticed how bulls have come in to defend and continue to fail. The first time was here, failed. Second time was here, failed. Third time was all this, failed. And now the fourth time, it's right here. It's happening again. And it's happening off the 64.24 level, with this being the recent pivot low. So again, we are seeing bulls come in and defend very strongly. This is perhaps the strongest rejection we've seen out of these 4 attempts. And we're seeing another development here. Absorption off the 64.24s, 64.30s. And bulls are trying to keep this area bid for a shot at pushing this thing higher. as high as 70, but comfortably in the 60, 68, 69 zone. But for the most part, we saw a failed new high yesterday, and now we're seeing a midpoint retest and a lower low with lower highs. And again, it's just not looking like the bulls are getting it done. So again, below 64.20 could run the stops, and we know stop run days in crude have been very, very significant. So this would open up a quick push into 62.18. The next target will be 62.18 if price cannot hold 64.20. So that could be a sell that happens all in one day on a stop run day easily if prices don't hold here. So again, we got to watch to see if bulls get paid. If not, we could be looking at another stop run back towards 62.18. Now taking a look here at Bitcoin. Now Bitcoin has been sitting on long-term support here since the futures came online, at least. 6,700 has been that level. Major level of support. The last time we had a major rejection tail here, we called along all the way back toward 12K. We got very, very close. That was an incredible move, almost a double. And then price gets back into the level again and forms a very narrow range. On this breakout day here, it was clear that we were likely bouncing back up again toward 10K and as high as 12. Well, we failed to get as high as 12 and instead double topped off of basically 10K, pulled back, and here we are again. We are right back at the same zone where we had the last two bounces. The last two bounces have been lower, so this one was a bounce here, and then this one was a lower one. So now if this one were to bounce, perhaps we get as high as value. Not much more than that. Remember, this market has been very bearish ever since the futures came online. We have kind of a descending formation that is beginning to develop here, and if price were to reach value here, that could be a great spot to sell this thing, because any breakthrough 6K opens up the downside. So if this thing cannot hold 6K, we're looking at the next target being 4,400. So 4,400 becomes the next target, and basically if you use this pad right here, what you'll notice is the key range takes you to 4,400 right at the this 125% extension from the midpoint of the range. So basically from the edge of the range, that's 50% expansion, that's 75%. So 4,400 the next key level down if we cannot hold recent support lows around 6K. So that could be a pretty nice move. But for right now, we're seeing the same type of accumulation that we've seen before. Last time that led to a sizable bounce. We got to wait for the breakout day here, but that could happen again, and it could take you right to about 8,500, which is current composite VPOC. All right, that is it for now. Let's see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck and trade well.